are excellent for when you do the two grindstones on top of each other, like robots.
I should probably mention that the first thing streamers heard is, "We found out your heads are excellent." Hello, everyone.
If you're gonna pick
My
weird
name
times
is...
to cross over.
I'm very sorry. I've just had a very needlessly noisy car drive past me. Needlessly loud, so I didn't actually hear that, Pax.
It's okay. It wasn't important.
I doubt that, but okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Hunter555. You can call me Hunter. That is Cosmic Dancer. Behind me is Minipax. That mischievous person is Alastair. Someone's microphone is picking up my voice.
Cosmic.
Why is it always mine?
It's
Go away.
Not wear
It's a
headphones.
very naughty microphone. No, it is actually a weird electronical thing with Cosmic's mic.
If there is anyone who is too quiet, I'm going to move away from Alastair because he's holding a bucket of lava. If anyone is too quiet or too loud, please do say. I'm not used to having this many people around me on Infinity Cove when streaming, so... Alastair's on the server, hide the lava. Alastair had lava when he logged in!
As is tradition.
Well, of course.
No. No.
There's also... Oh, hello, Scotsman.
It's-
There is also a Scotsman. Hello, Scotsman.
It's banned. Lava is banned.
Somewhere.
In Pride
There's a
Land.
Scotsman somewhere. Scotsman, would you like to join us over here? We're in the Pride Lands.
As soon as I remember how to get there.
Oh.
I can teleport you if you really want me to. Considering I just did it for Alastair.
Yeah. Alastair, keep away from my house with that lava, says Jay Price.
I'm flabbergasted by this train.
By what?
The train.
The train? My train?
Yes,
Why are you flabbergasted by it?
it's brilliant.
Thanks.
And the carriages have like proper Annie and Clarabelle vibes to them as well.
There's other transportation devices in this area.
I know.
As well.
I saw a train and I was like, ooh, choo-choo.
Yeah. Oh, it's a particularly good train. You've been on it?
I have not been on it. No.
He's struggling
one
with the
can
stairs,
like
so I'm not sure how well he's going to manage the train
Oh my
himself.
god. We're screwed.
Oh, hang on.
That's brilliant. So don't go in that one because that'll teleport you to Elkhorn's area. But we've got some nice first-class cabins. And if you'll kind of follow
which
me this
cabins
way.
do I go in then? Because
you'll
obviously not the
follow
first
me this
class
way.
ones.
I mean, there's a cattle car somewhere.
My wolf is feeling a bit ill today. Exapol, thank you for the 14-month resub. This is the axolotl car. There's a lot of axolotls in here.
Also, children just
A
keep
lot of
appearing.
This
loitering.
is second class. So you got some nice tables and some decent seating. And this is for the peasants.
Oh, my cabin.
Oh, no, we're not at your cabin yet.
Oh.
Keep going. This cabin will eventually become the restaurant car when I find time to decorate it. Here is the resource car. Alastair,
First class is all the way up there, and the restaurant car's down near third class.
You'll be here.
Freight.
You're
the-
right.
So you're leaving me. I'm just gonna ask this. You're leaving me with the flammable objects.
Apparently
No.
so. This is my actual base. This
Nice.
carriage is my actual base.
So the madman carriage. Mad person carriage. It doesn't quite work the same, unfortunately.
No. And then this one is going to become the sleeper car.
This is Cosmic's. Ow! Why do I get punched every time I look at Cosmic?
I mean, are you
Sorry.
really asking that
You-
question?
You just got that kind of face. So have I, apparently.
I mean, if anyone has a punchable face at the moment, it probably should be Pax.
No, I'm scared because I feel like they're gonna exterminate me. So I'm just gonna keep distance.
Right, so there is actually something very on brand that Alastair needs to see. I suspect he may have inspired this somewhat.
Oh God, what is this?
Does Alastair have rockets? I've just taken off without thinking about if Alastair has rockets.
I do.
I think so. Yes. Yes, he's flying.
Yes, I was kitted out last time I was here. Oh. Oh, that's the same design. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
This has changed. Alastair,
Yes.
Alastair,
walk around the TARDIS.
Walk this side. This side. There you go.
Whoa.
Follow me.
Yeah, mine's a lot smaller on the inside.
Yeah. And this way. This is new. This one's new. I'm not used to this one being here. This is new for me as well. Who built this?
That would be me.
As if you even have to ask that question.
Yeah, I don't know why I asked. Okay, so this one I wasn't expecting.
That is amazing. That's really,
Incidentally,
really
the
cool.
green button. This button is your new teleport button.
That's my new teleport back to my old base. Okay. So for those that don't know, this is the console room for Shutigatwa's 15th Doctor, the latest Doctor. If you weren't aware, that is what we are going to be talking about tonight. I think everyone here has seen the first 2 episodes, except maybe Stormdance, who's just shown up.
I think Cheering might not have, but looks like they're heading off as well.
Yes, I meant people in voice chat. But yes.
Hi. I have not seen them, but I do not object to spoilers.
Okay.
So feel free to spoil away.
Yes, I think Turing said first episode, but Turing's also headed off to bed, so should be okay with the spoilers because we'll talk about the first episode first. Does this jukebox work? Oh my word!
Okay, hang on.
I'd say that's a
Stop
yes.
screen noises, so, how do I get to this again?
Well, that's a copyright strike.
Oh, to go around pressing buttons.
Which jukebox was this? This one here?
Who are you,
Run
Green?
away.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Grian. I'm Infinity Cove's Grian. How was that news? Alastair, if you turn this way, I believe this will take us back to where I thought we were going. Yes, this is what I was aiming for.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So I've got David Tennant's, and Chris Eccleston's console room, Matt Smith's second console room, and Peter Capaldi's. There are slight variations, but they're similar enough. And then Ncuti Gatwa, and also David Tennant's.
Nice.
That one was a surprise. I was not expecting that. Thank you, Minipax, for building that. That's very kind of you.
You're welcome. Do you remember when I asked if I could prank you a little while ago?
Vaguely.
That's what I was planning to build.
It all blurs together.
I have just noticed a couple of the TARDIS lights are out, which is a little bit unfortunate. But
What, in this one?
yeah.
Well, the TARDIS has never worked.
Look
Well,
where I'm
yeah.
standing, Hunter. Yeah.
Oh, right there.
The whole thing
Amateur.
with the TARDIS
Amateur.
is kinda
But Alastair
glitchy.
is right, the TARDIS has never worked. So, if you didn't know, and if you didn't know, have you been living under a rock for my streams?
Yes.
Did someone just say yes?
Yes, but I was the contrary, so please do continue.
I am a big
Press the button.
Oh,
fan of Doctor Who.
everybody
big fan.
disappeared. I didn't know how.
Shocker.
Yes, I know, it's a bit of a surprise. And if you really were living under a rock, on Saturday, just past, the first 2 episodes of the new series of Doctor Who, we're not going to get into the numbering, it's complicated, released on BBC iPlayer and Disney+. and then aired on BBC One later the same day. I watched them both when they released at midnight. So I wrapped up my stream, I went and watched the Northern Lights, and then I went and watched Doctor Who, which, to be perfectly honest, is a pretty good evening.
Yep.
Um,
Until you have to get up the next morning,
Yep.
of course.
Fortunately, I had no set time to get up the next morning because it was a
I mean,
Saturday.
it was a Saturday.
Yeah. And I know Cosmic did the exact same thing.
Mhm.
Technically, Alastair did, but had the benefit of time zones, so...
Yes, 8 p.m. It was perfect timing.
What was it you said? Suck it, GMT.
Wow.
Oh, I
In
see.
the group chat to friends over in the UK, yeah, I just went, suck it, GMT.
Okay.
Wow.
And I believe, Scotsman, you've watched both episodes?
I watched them when I woke up.
And Minipax?
Yep.
When did you watch them?
Midnight.
Okay, well, I suppose for you, that's the middle of the day, so...
We watched them
Yeah.
together,
Well,
Alistair and I,
Yes.
kind of.
And I wasn't
Yeah,
invited.
kind of, yeah. There was a 4-minute delay for
4
me.
minutes behind because somebody pressed play on the wrong episode. Can you
No,
guess who it
no,
was?
no, it's Disney Plus's fault. I'm just going to point this out. This was Disney Plus's fault. It was showing like a coming soon, like new episodes. And so I was waiting and I refreshed and immediately hit play. And what they did was they grouped the Church of Ruby Road episode into
Yeah.
the list. So suddenly
Yeah,
ended
they
up
did.
playing that one.
Aye.
That happened to me as well.
So I was watching, I was going, hang on, are they just recapping like what happened last time? And then I realized, like, nope, this is the wrong episode.
Nope.
And then I made Cosmic wait 4 minutes so that we could watch the second one at the same time.
And Storm, you
And I
said
was
you
nice
hadn't
enough.
seen them, but you weren't objecting to spoilers.
I was
No,
nice
my Doctor Who backlog is very long, and I
Okay.
generally don't object to spoilers anyways.
J Price, seen some of season 1, should you leave? Which season 1? There are 3. That's what I meant about not
This is
getting
where it
into the
gets
numbers.
silly now.
Yeah. So, for those unaware, the newest series of Doctor Who is being branded as sort of another soft reboot. This is the second soft reboot, which means it's the third season 1. The first
Which is
season
better,
1
yeah.
was the first season with William Hartnell as the first Doctor. The second
The black and
season
white
1, which
one.
was technically marketed as Series 1, was the reboot in 2005 with Christopher Eccleston. And the third season 1 is this season that's airing now.
Just to be extra special.
What's that noise? What was that noise?
I think Cosmic's got music on.
No,
No?
Are you trying to copyright strike them again?
no, I didn't do anything. It wasn't my fault the
That
first
was
time
fine.
around.
It's J.
Oh,
Price's
something-
clock! That's clock with an L.
Oh, of
Alistair?
course.
Alastair, pick a number between 1 and 6.
5.
One
3.
and 5. 1 and 4.
God.
2.
Why am I deaf, Ross?
Oh no!
I got the appropriate one. I've gone old and grey.
I thankfully don't have to try and put on any voices.
And I'm just not gonna.
That's
But we
also-
do all have to climb inside you to get anywhere.
I can voice
Oh my.
Minimax.
Nah,
Yeah, that's a very oh my sentence.
nah.
May I remind everyone that this is not marked as 18 only.
No, but it is also not
I
marked
didn't-
as family friendly. Because we've got all of us here.
It is
You
innuendo
should
friendly.
mark it as 18 only.
Mythical.
Endo.
All
Oh
the news
my.
down in Whoville. Yes, Mythical. What you should be hearing is that now would be a good time to start watching, if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
And you should want to. So tonight the idea is that we will all be discussing the first 2 episodes, what we thought was good, what we thought was bad. Are we looking forward to the rest of the series? What are our hopes for the series? Basically, just anything to do with the latest season of Doctor Who. Technically speaking, there is also supposed to be some resource gathering going on. I think
in the comments earlier, yes, this is shaping up to be such a productive stream.
But yeah, I don't think it's going to be an especially productive stream. I also noticed, Cosmic, that you've put Dirt Path on the list.
I just took the list from
I
the
don't know how you expect me to provide Dirt Path. That's not a mineable block.
I'm not expecting you to. It's just on there, right? Shut up.
Right. Well, it needs mangrove planks,
Wow.
so I'm just going to grab some mangrove planks. Hold on.
Not the ones from Joe Price's house.
Oh. Okay.
I think
What are
people
you
would be
doing?
upset if we mined someone's house.
Yeah.
That would be a minor infraction.
Very good.
I think it would get exterminated.
Minipax.
Well, I kind of
I
figured.
think I have to take instruction from Alastair.
Traditionally, the Daleks shoot Davros.
Oh, that's
Several
Eventually.
times.
They hang around with him for a bit first, but yeah.
Yeah, but let's face it, they don't exactly take his orders. It's generally the other way round.
Right, well, I'm ready when you are, Pax. I'm watching.
You see, the
I
Scream
am
Dalek
beholden
said
to my
vault,
children.
as in prisoner. No, wait, I get it. You're the Dalek's pet.
I am on fire!
You know, I wasn't expecting to do a Davros voice.
All I have to say is, if anyone that borrows the glasses off of my head, just remember to clear the browser cache first.
Oh, I'm choking to death on a Jaffa cake over here. Oh.
Still can't believe he's
Would you
bragging
like a
about
jelly
his
baby?
jackets.
Never cared for those.
So,
Wow.
Space Babies.
Yes, so
Why
Space
am I
Babies.
always on fire?
Alistair, can I suggest setting your spawn?
I have done.
Okay, good. Yes, so
Somewhere close.
season 1, episode 1 of season 14.
Many.
No, episode 1.
14 on this one. I think that makes it 33
Yeah,
This is where you also
because it
call
was
like, you could also just say
27 plus
2024.
14,
27 plus 14 would be
31.
What? No one said there'd be maths. I'm
40. It'd be 41.
I'm out.
Yeah, season 41.
41.
So season 41, episode 1, Space Babies. Yes, you heard that
Yeah, it could have been
correctly.
better.
So let's just start with rating out of 5. Scotsman.
I'm going to go middle 3. It wasn't the best.
Alistair?
I would agree on a 3. It's does what it's supposed to do in terms of setup. But yeah, not the best, but good to get it out of the way.
Cosmic?
I'm going to go with a 4. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I actually really enjoyed it as a story. I thought it was a good introduction to, and it was very whirlwind as well, so it wasn't like a lot of background exposition. You didn't ask for my full opinion on it, but you're going to get it.
I mean, I was going to ask for your full opinion in a second. I just wanted to get everyone's quick ratings out the way, and then I was going to segue into the long debate.
I'll shut up.
Minipax, rating out of 5.
Hi.
Pie?
Yeah.
3.14.
14159.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought that was where you were going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it
was
okay,
I
but
was
yeah,
going to
it
have to say a 3 as well. The highlights of the episode were any scene with only Shooty and Millie. And also, the character's name was Jocelyn. I don't know the actress's name, unfortunately. I am not. This is not a Doctor Who retrospective podcast, so I didn't do my homework. Otherwise, I'd have looked at more cast members' names. But any scene with the 3 adults was good. Yeah.
No,
Cosmic,
I
would you like to
Yeah,
wasn't a
continue
big fan of her as a character, to be honest.
She was a bit weird.
I mean, if you'd been
But then
alone on
she'd
a
also
space
been
station with a
alone
bunch
for
of
6
babies.
years. Oh dear.
Wow.
I aimed for Alastair. That's Alastair.
You murdered
I
my
definitely-
cat!
I
no.
definitely got murdered
And
for that
so it
in the
begins.
past by you.
Oh no.
Who died?
Cosmic.
And a cat.
No.
Oh.
Before that.
It was just cat.
Anyway.
This break in the proceedings is brought to you by Cosmic the Murderer.
No one clip it out of context, please. That was Alice's fault. He wasn't standing
We
where I
are
expected him to be
not. You are
standing.
not blaming Alastair for that murder. You knew where
Apparently
the animals
Cybermen
were.
have a thing about cats.
Anyway. Back on track, which is quite impressive for this group. And that's why. Cosmic's punishment to be near birch trees for the whole hour.
No.
How about
Well,
encased in
Cosmic,
4 of them?
Cosmic, you've helped me decide what wood I'm using for my newest large tree.
No.
Right, Cosmic,
Come on.
you had a long speech planned that I interrupted. Would you like to continue with your long speech?
Meow. Right, okay, so I thought that it was good. I thought it was good, fast paced regarding the background of Doctor Who. So it was good enough for people who are new to catch on, and also not boring for a person who knows what Doctor Who is all about to sit through, if that makes sense. So I thought it was very, very whistle stop. It went quick. But that fast paced suits Shooty's acting, I think.
Oh yes, very
That he's
much so.
he is what a absolute, it was like all of a sudden, like, Doctor Who is back. It was like he kicked the door down. That was it. I am the Doctor. This is it. It was amazing. His acting.
Although it was a completely different way of starting, the energy it started with, the energy it started with, I felt was very much like that first scene with Christopher Eccleston where he takes Rose's hand and just shouts "run."
Yeah,
as the Autons
it was
attack.
that.
Yeah.
It was very, very similar energy, if very
And
different style of
Pretty
showing
much
it.
the same thing. He
Well,
grabbed
yeah.
her hand and yelled, "Run!"
Yeah, just a completely different monster.
Yeah.
I know we're skipping ahead through the episode, but that monster, the bogeyman.
Hmm.
It was both good and bad simultaneously.
I got it in the context of the story. It made sense in the context of the story. Could I have done with it not being what it made out of what it was made out of? Yes.
So here's the thing. Here's the why I'm willing to overlook both the bogeyman, and also the power source for the space station, shall we say? The momentum
God.
source for the space station, and that is because this was the first episode of a new reboot of Doctor Who, written by the same man who gave us the burping wheelie bin and the farting aliens in skin suits. This is very on brand.
Yeah.
He
Those
It
needs
was
are
a long
the-
corridor. There was
Doctor
a long
Who is
corridor
a
at one
family
point.
show. You need something for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
willing to
do
admit
wish
see a
this
couple of
hadn't
things.
been episode 1 of the new thing because of that.
It did.
I think I can sort of see why they did it, but I would have preferred a stronger starting episode.
Yeah, I think
I'd almost have preferred swapping the first 2 because
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
that's
honestly
would
not a bad
feel
idea.
I honestly feel that as a first episode, it could put people off because of the way that it was
I would
almost
s-
childish.
I'd still be inclined to lead people in with Rose or the 11th Hour because they're good jumping off points. The only downside to them now is there's a fair bit of backlog to dig through.
Well, I also don't know how it's listed on BBC, but kind of like as I was alluding to earlier, for the rest of the world on Disney Plus, it's listed with the Church on Ruby Road as episode 1. So
Yeah,
that
it
actually
is on
works
BBC.
quite well
Yeah, I think
as
that's
a
not
first
fair.
episode. And it does make sense that they drop both, because if they did just drop the space babies, then yeah, it would have been a bit weaker as a like if that was the only thing that we got. The fact that we got both just showed the range that
Well-
this series is going to give us.
Mhm.
True.
I agree with that, though there is a slight problem with the way, I don't know how it was listed exactly on Disney, but on BBC it was still listed as the first one was Ruby Road, but that said Christmas special followed by episode 1 and episode 2. So I can imagine a lot of people basically skipping it, thinking, "Oh, that's a throwaway episode."
Yeah,
But I don't know if that's the same on
the
Disney.
Christmas specials have
because here
always
it's
been a
2
bit.
and 3, not 1 and 2.
The Christmas specials have always been a bit confusing with, are they the final episode of one series or the very first episode of the next? Because there's always such a long gap between.
Or are they completely independent?
Or are they completely independent? Yeah. A lot of the unofficial numbering I see tends to put them in one or the other rather than keeping them separate. But and whoever's doing the numbering is consistent. So if the Christmas Invasion is the end of Series 1 as the final episode of Series 1, then the Runaway Bride is the end of Series 2, and so on and so forth. They don't swap between.
Yeah,
Oh, this
well,
is the end of this series.
Ruby
but this
Road
the
is
first of.
Ruby Road's definitely part of this season, though,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
whole setup,
Oh god, yeah.
everything
Yeah.
that's happened in those 2 episodes. Well, not everything. The
Take
Space
care,
Babies
Price.
less so, but certainly the all the stuff that was going on with Maestro was all from Ruby Road.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
anniversary. The thing is, there were references to the
And the
anniversary.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which I did. I mean, personally, as a long-time fan of the show, I liked, but obviously someone who's brand new to the show might not have seen the anniversary episodes, so wouldn't necessarily know. Speaking of, because I think the thing is, Space Babies, there's not a lot to talk about.
I mean, can I just say, the babies were cute, but
Oh, Uncanny
creepy.
Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just-
the babies were cute, but there was a very serious case of Uncanny Valley. I don't know if any of you watched Doctor Who Unleashed. That's the behind-the-scenes
Not
show.
yet.
Not yet, no. I need
So
to.
what they did, I'm going to kind of spoil a bit mentioning that, but it's a behind-the-scenes show. I'm assuming we're okay with spoilers for that.
Yeah.
The way they did it was the child actors who voiced the babies. They recorded them reading the lines, and then used video editing software of some form to get the movements their faces made, and then mapped them on to the babies, so the babies' faces made the same movements.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered a film called Genius Babies?
Yes.
Or Baby Geniuses? I
Baby
can't remember what
Geniuses,
the-
yeah. Baby Geniuses, yeah.
I'm fairly sure it was the same context. It had the same problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I just don't think we're there with that kind. Even nowadays, I don't think we're there with that
Well,
kind of technology where you can
I don't think
make
we
it
ever
look-
will. It's
No, we
because
we
we're
kind
not
of-
used to seeing babies talk properly.
Yeah, true.
yeah,
We
this-
kind of are at the point where the technology can do that, but it has to be so processed it's like not available for a TV show.
Mm.
the way
I-
that they kind of
Given
moved
Disney.
around in their like stroller pram things. I mean, the only thing I can say to that is it was,
Weird, even by Dalek standards.
Yeah,
they
I-
felt like
no,
little,
they-
they felt like
They
little
felt
mini
like they were
Daleks.
proto-Daleks.
Yeah,
Exactly.
little mini
Yeah.
Daleks, yeah.
Yeah.
maybe
Um,
that's where we'll find out where the Daleks came from.
I think the Daleks came first, and this is their new offspring.
This is Dalek 3.0.
Well, is it an improvement on the IKEA Daleks?
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have to get into that one?
Well, that's going back quite well. At that stage, we are starting a retrospective podcast.
Did anyone else have a reaction to the lack of cold open?
It did catch me off guard, but it made
It
of
made sense, but I immediately, with the lack of a cold open, my immediate fear was, oh, they've changed the format. And I was quite pleased in the second episode when I was, okay, they haven't changed the format, they just
Yeah.
decided not to for that episode.
Addy has
I wonder
mentioned
if-
that there are some
Sorry.
more behind-the-scenes things on YouTube for those that might not have been aware of that. Personally, I knew. I haven't watched them, but I was aware they were there. But if other people like haven't seen, I think a lot of them are presented as YouTube shorts, but I don't. I think they're separate from Unleashed. Sorry.
YouTube Shorts are one of the things that I try to avoid, though.
That's
Yeah,
fair
me
enough.
too.
I just thought I would mention that Addy had mentioned this, and if people.
Yeah,
weren't aware
I
of it.
saw Eddie's comment. I'll have to have a look and see where they are.
I
Obviously.
think they were shorts, but I could be wrong.
Really? Why? Why? I mean,
Why not?
I was up there for a reason. I'm trying to stay away from Hunter so I don't get some sort of weird echo from my...
I'll stay over here then. So,
Wow.
who went first on the rating last time? Scotsman. Cosmic.
Yep.
Out of 5, The Devil's Chord.
5. More if I could. I'd give it more if I could.
Alastair.
Yeah, I'd give it a 5.
Scotsman.
I want to give it more. I'm going to have to stick with 5, but I'd give it more.
Minipax.
4.5.
Just to be different.
They're just being difficult.
with
It's just
reasons.
being difficult.
I don't like giving things perfect scores unless they're
True.
perfect, and I don't think this episode was perfect. So.
That's fair enough.
I thought it was
I'm
very,
curious
very good.
what you
Doctor Who.
felt wasn't, actually.
Well, we'll get there when we talk about it.
Okay, if we're not
Max
giving,
preferred it a PowerPoint presentation that we're all going to look through.
I would also have given it a 5 because, especially when taken, I will be honest. I think my view of episode 2 may have been marginally coloured by watching it immediately after episode 1. And The Devil's Chord
Point.
rated against Space Babies. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not even a contest. If I had to remove
But then
one of
that's
those
how
episodes
most
from the
people are
series,
going to see it.
Well, yeah, most people are because it's streaming, but
But also when it aired on
Or
BBC One,
even live.
they aired one after the other live. It was Doctor Who.
yeah,
Doctor
well,
Who,
I
Eurovision.
didn't see them right after you. I saw them with a 2-hour space between them. I think there's more people are going to watch them separately than you think.
Yeah.
Like spending 2 hours sitting watching, that is a lot more than some people can do, especially the number of people who watch streaming on like the phones and stuff.
I appreciate that you emphasised some.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah. Present company perhaps excluded. Okay. So, should we go with Pax first? As Pax was the only one who didn't give it a perfect rating.
Okay.
Right.
So the reasons it didn't get a perfect rating, and they're somewhat minimal. I just don't think it was perfect. And to be honest, I don't really like rating most things as perfect because what happens when they give us more? Do we have to go to 6? But I still have a problem with the friggin' Sonic. I don't like the USB Sonic screwdriver. It seems to just plug into everything. I absolutely loved the silence thing that they did with it.
That
but
came
again,
so
that
well.
was a good scene.
But
That
again,
was
I don't
eerie.
like it's another one of those things that the sonic screwdriver is just a magical device. It's gone from a handy tool to a magical device almost.
Yeah.
And outside of stuff with the sonic screwdriver, there was a couple of weird graphical effects with those notes that pulled me out a bit. And I didn't like that there was. So when I saw the trailer, I thought this episode was going to be really heavily sort of like Beatles. And apart from like right at the end and the conversation in the middle, they weren't really a focus at all.
Yeah, I
and
did
that
think the
disappointed me a
episode
bit.
was going to be more Beatles focused than it was. I thought they were going to have more of a role in the episode.
But that said, it's one of my favorite. Like Maestro was absolutely amazing. Like I'm focusing on the things that made me mark it down there. It's still probably the favorite episode of Doctor Who I've seen in several years.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
At this point. So don't feel like I'm knocking it. I'm just telling you the negatives that I saw.
For an episode with a larger cast, it's definitely up one of my favourites. But I still like Well Blue Yonder. It was such a good episode for 2 characters, like for 2 actors. 4 characters for pretty much the entire episode.
Yeah.
Unless you
No,
count
that was
a very
no, that
slowly
was an
counting
amazing.
spaceship.
Did anyone feel really sorry for the granny that went to play the piano and then
Oh,
just got like
yeah,
murderized?
my
Yeah.
Oh yes.
yeah, that was the only part.
I think
of
that was deliberate for that reason, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was, but I was like, oh no.
but do you know? Do you want to know something? She was involved in Doctor Who.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember what her role was though.
Actress?
No, she was on the crew, I think.
He was a crewman.
I don't have a bow.
Just Scotsman, just slap him on the face. It's fine. Do us all a favour.
I missed the joke. I'm tabbed out of the game.
Mary's potato head.
Devil's Chord. I'm trying to find out who it was now because this one's gonna bother me a lot more.
Be careful, as I say, of reading anything that lists actors in multiple places.
Yeah. So, June Hudson is her name. She was the costume designer during Tom Baker's era.
That's
That makes more sense.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, she created his later plum outfit and scarf for season 18, which I believe was with Romana. Starting with the Leisure Hive. I'm relying on you guys to an extent. Oh yeah, it started with Romana 2 and K9. And then started incorporating Adric, Nissa, and Tegan towards the end. It's Tom Baker's final series.
You're an Adric. Rip.
Moment of silence for Adric.
That's long enough. He was a very annoying character.
Yeah, I was about to blow a raspberry there for a second.
He's the Wesley of Doctor Who.
Hey.
I don't know. I think I was exactly the right age to be watching Adric, to be fair. I don't know if it was reruns, but I don't know what age that was.
Okay. I'm going to say I did give this episode a 5. Could I have done without the music number at the end? Possibly.
The music number at the end felt like they were trying to shoehorn in almost a Bollywood element.
Have I been singing that song ever since I watched it? Yes.
Funnily, I didn't find it catchy. I was disappointed that it wasn't catchier.
I felt that part of the reason I didn't like it as much as I didn't was because I didn't enjoy the song. I thought if I enjoyed the song, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Though,
yeah,
I think if they were going to incorporate a music number into it, which fair enough, it's a music-themed villain, incorporate a music number. Put it before the villain has been defeated. Have the villain be the cause of the music number.
Which was done well.
Yeah,
in
but
Buffy,
that would have
for
been
example.
kind of the opposite of what the whole villain was about.
Well, that's the thing. Here's what I thought about. The
Well-
villain provokes the music number, and then as everyone's doing the whole singing and dancing routine, the villain is dancing among them, doing the whole pulling the music out of them. They're not realizing she's doing it. Sorry, they're doing it.
There's a possibility that they might have been, given that himself was still in there.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of the music has already been taken from them over several years before as well.
Yeah.
True.
That cold open though, especially with the maestro playing the piano into the intro.
That was
so
beautifully
good.
That
done.
was my favourite cold open of Doctor Who ever.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Hello, Screwy.
Hey, Screw.
But yeah, just that cold open. And I liked when Ruby's just like, we're going to 1963 dressed like this, and the Doctor's reaction is just absolutely.
Yeah.
They run off to the wardrobe,
Wasn't it?
and then
I
Did you
was
not
left
find
thinking,
it a bit weird that they were already wearing outfits that would have fit the 60s. That was a bit weird.
it did catch me off guard. I'm like, those outfits would actually blend in a lot better than the usual Doctor
Yeah,
Who
it
outfit.
wouldn't have been hard for them to have been wearing something more modern just for saying that.
It did feel a bit. It's that one of the first companions whose first impression is to change outfit.
Yes.
Well,
as far as I
so
know.
here's the thing that I
Yeah.
missed until I watched it a second time. She's been with him for about 6 months.
Yeah, there's a time
There's a
skip.
time jump in there.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, right, okay, I
and-
totally missed that.
Yeah,
Because she
it's very
suddenly
subtle.
he asks her what time she's from, and she mentions that she's like July,
Yeah, she says.
and
Oh,
she was previously
yeah.
Christmas.
Point.
So there's been a 6-month time jump. So I think you're right. Yes, I think she's one of the first ones to really prompt that, but I think that's because they've already been out
around.
on the adventure.
So here's the thing about it. So when Rose and the Ninth Doctor first go to Victorian Cardiff. It feels weird to say Victorian Cardiff rather than Victorian London, but there we go. The Doctor sends her back to the wardrobe to change because she'll cause a riot. In his words, she'll cause a riot the way she's dressed. David Tennant and 10th Doctor and Rose, they sort of 50s it up for the Idiot's Lantern, but beyond that, there isn't really much. I don't think Martha ever changes for a period accurate outfit, except when they're specifically hiding in history. And then in Donna's first trip to an alien planet, the Doctor is raving about how wonderful the planet is. She's gone back inside to get a coat.
Yes.
Yeah. Clara leaned into it, but then Clara was in many, many different guises in many different time zones anyway.
Amy's first
Clara
off-
was broken.
Amy's first
Yeah.
off-world
Yeah.
adventure was in her 90.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And then
What?
her and Rory, their first trip together to history, they were in, which was Venice. They were in modern clothes.
One of the things I did love, though, about them coming to this point in history in the 60s was the reference to, oh, I'm just living over there right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah, no, I
the,
did
the
like
reference
that.
to Totter's Lane.
Yeah, I thought I do like when they reference like
The-
other stories set in the same
That was
year.
a good history block as well.
It was. They're doing that a lot, and I actually don't mind it. But they're doing that a lot. I noticed that some of that in Space Babies too, where there seems to be these little exposition blocks, which I think are for the new audience, to explain a little bit of the Doctor Who history as they're going along, because they seem to be giving a bit more than the like one sentence references that they used to give,
Yeah.
or like
But it's nice that
tiny
it helps
phrase.
fill in because he's explaining to her and
Yeah.
in doing so explaining
Yeah,
to
well-
us as the audience.
That's what I was saying. I don't
It's-
mind it. It doesn't feel out
Yeah.
of place,
Yeah.
but I think that is them sort of handing the new audience lore.
He's also travelled to a lot of the 20th century. So, like,
Yeah.
there's going to be times
True.
when it's like, I've already been to this period. I just happen to be somewhere else. But I like that they don't go, and we're going to go and take a look. I like that it's just like, I'm over there, but,
Yeah.
back in the past.
Well, it's-
but we're doing
How
this
many
here.
times has he been to World War II?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Oh,
Well,
God help us.
But the 6-month time skip. How have they
I didn't
not
pick up on
covered
that.
time can be rewritten in that 6 months? Like, this is her first time experiencing
Yeah.
the whole
You
concept
just made me
that time can
remember
be rewritten.
something.
Oh,
From
God, the
Space
butterfly.
Babies we didn't mention the butterfly.
Yeah.
What on that seemed like an extortionate amount of we've done something and then they just moved on.
Well, they did kind of say that there was basically there was like a setting or circuit that's in the TARDIS that is to prevent that from happening, and that was turned
Yeah.
off or something. And so I think it's again, I think is for new audiences to go, here's the rules of time travel in this show. That
Yeah.
don't get too
Had-
caught up in
Except
the butterfly.
I
effect, 'cause-
have-
yeah.
Yeah, and there's one thing that keeps coming up, and I'm waiting to see if it's going to come back. And I don't really want to lean into it because it's annoying the living daylights out of me.
That it's getting dark.
No. Gravity.
No, Mavity.
Mavity.
Yeah.
Did they use that word in one of these two
I
episodes?
don't think they did in
No.
either of these,
No.
but they did in the last couple.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's a definite sort of long-running, we've screwed with history.
Yeah.
This
If they
thank you,
hadn't,
Rain.
if they hadn't done there's a button for that in the TARDIS, I actually thought originally when I was seeing that the reason might be something to do with the toy maker, like the weird like lore that they're building around the toy maker. Maybe some way that the look he gives as they went back inside, and he sort of gives that like what on earth is going on look. Like I thought, oh well, maybe that's like something that's going to happen more and more. Like it's going, like time is going to get more and more off kilter, and then they just basically went, oh, there's a button we need to press. So I was like, oh, okay.
And then
I'm wondering who He Who Watches is.
there was we've had He Who Watches and He Who Waits in the Dark. I assume it's the same.
I think it's the same
individual
person.
with
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
names.
I think it's the same.
But I
one.
do like the idea that we're going to see, hopefully, this is just me. I like powerful deities. I'm aware of the risks having them in Doctor Who poses, but I like the powerful deities in a lot of my media. Like I enjoy the Lords of Order and Chaos in DC, for example.
It feels like they even though those might be the same, like the oldest one feels like a different one.
Yeah.
That one does, because I think He Who Watches and etc. That made me the He Who Watches, because that's what Harbinger was doing at the end, watching.
Yeah, I did catch that, which was interesting.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one who thought that then.
Yeah, that seemed interesting considering that Maestro was gone.
But then Harbinger could be He Who Watches, and might be one in their own right.
Mythical.
The thing is that
I'll explain in
kid
a second.
could just be a vessel that they're using as a way to enter this universe or something from outside, because that seems to have been what they were doing. He was there to coax the
but that
genius.
That boy was in 1925, and then later in 1963. The cold open was set in 1925.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that might be basically just a disguise that the outside people are using to interact somehow.
Yeah.
I don't mean the physical child, because they kind of melted him, which is a bit weird, but
yeah. One of the things that's really good about this, though.
Sorry, Screwy has just said. You mean Elkhorn is now canon in Doctor Who as the oldest one? I had to make sure that got said out loud in case Elkhorn wasn't reading chat.
Who Elkhorn?
Amazing. I do really, really love and appreciate how Russell T Davies is doing what he does best, which is just seeding these little long-running, like the season-long arcs, in the same way as Bad Wolf, because this is just like the Bad Wolf stuff, and it's really good world building where it's just teasing you with just little bits. I know that
Remind me to come back
to
that in a couple of episodes, because I have a feeling there's more.
There's something that Scotsman knows that I figured out rewatching them yesterday.
There's a bit of an impossible girl thing going on again.
Yeah.
As well.
Sort of.
So yeah, it's not the same, but there's certainly.
Yeah.
Like
I'm really trying to avoid saying something because it
don't. I think I know what you're talking about. Don't. Just keep stumping out.
But it's also kind of like how the doctor scanned Amy, and he was doing scans of Ruby, and we never got to.
certain that said not human.
Well, how spoilery? How not spoilery? How in the weeds? Are we going to get like theories and stuff?
Well, here's the issue that I see with that. Him, Scotsman knows a lot more from behind the scenes stuff. The only theories I can craft are what's in the show. That's all I've got.
Yeah, well,
I've only seen
Yes.
one thing. That's all.
I know, but I have no idea.
well,
how
the thing
much
that the thing that you told me yesterday, Scotsman, I think I spotted what you were talking about in the 2 episodes.
Okay.
But the outside of that, there was a weird amount of exposition about the Doctor's granddaughter.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
thought that was odd.
That made me a bit suspicious. And then he's scanning her DNA, and I'm like, Doctor's granddaughter or something like that. I think Susan's coming back round somehow.
That would
Because
be
that
interesting.
speech was weirdly focused
Yeah, and
for a throwaway.
It was also interesting that they mentioned the Rani.
yeah,
Yes, they
there
did.
are any-
And that has absolutely nothing to do with anything that I know. It's just I really liked that they picked her out.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
didn't mention the Master, which I thought was interesting.
So I think
I mean,
Russell T
It
Davies
is a
has
bit of a
said
sore point.
the Master is getting arrested for now. I think he's come out and
Yeah.
said
Oh, thank goodness.
in the new series that that sort of storyline's arrested
For now, the Master's in retirement. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that because the Master has been fairly
Overused.
recurring character recently. I liked Missy, especially towards
I
the
liked
end
Missy.
during the redemption arc, because it was such a breath of fresh air from the character. For the character, just like Missy is very much trying to be good and really doing a bad job of it. These are my expendables.
Yeah. And-
Exposition and comic relief. that was a nice meta joke there.
Oh God, yes.
Now, my ads are going to be rolling shortly, so do we want to take a few minutes just so people can like get screen break and things, and then jump back in with like theories about what's coming and things?
Yeah, can do.
I'm just checking no one needs to like go off or anything.
No.
I will need to go and get dinner, but I'm okay for another half hour or 40 minutes.
Okay, well we've still got a couple of minutes. I just wanted to make sure that got mentioned before the ads started running, so we could start
So-
to wrap
I've
things
got
up.
One
plenty
thing-
of time.
one
Suck it,
thing-
GMT.
Yes, I'm right.
Uh-huh.
Stamp it on your forehead. One thing I
To be
will
fair,
say that I did like from the episode was the song that Ruby played, which I think that is her theme.
Mm.
That's her
Um,
theme, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy that Murray Gold is back. I think his compositions are amazing. And I can't remember the previous composer's name. I'm absolutely blanking on it. I think he was good for Georgie's era. But just the music again, I think has just brought everything up a notch. But yeah, her theme is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Murray Gold
Se-
in that
second-
episode, he makes an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Does
He
he?
does.
He's playing the piano in
Yeah.
the orchestra scene.
He's the baldy guy playing the piano in the orchestra
Oh.
room.
That makes sense. Sigun Akinola, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, was the one that did
That's yeah.
the previous ones with Chibnall. There was a tweet that somebody sent out, and they basically just overlaid some of Sigun's music over that big dance number at the end, and it is as terrible as you would imagine it to be. Where the music, I mean, this is the thing, it's not like the music was bad, like it still worked a little bit for the scene, but there was nothing memorable about it in the way that Murray Gold's is completely
Yeah.
memorable and exciting to listen to just on its own.
I'm
Mhm.
always
Sigun's was kind of bland.
apprehensive talking about Murray Gold with as much praise for him as I feel I have, because he's pretty much, until Jodie Whittaker, he was the only composer for Doctor Who I knew. Like in terms of like what I'd experienced watching the show and things, because he was the composer until Peter Capaldi left from the reboot, start of the reboot till the end of Peter Capaldi's era. So I'm
And they
hesitant
learned
to...
their lesson and got him back.
Mhm.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know. So my view of Doctor Who has always been the show should always look forward. It can reference back, but it should always move forward. So when it was announced that Russell T Davies and Murray Gold were coming back, I'm like, there was a part of me that was really excited because I like them both, but there was a part of me also thinking, but they've done it before. I would rather some fresh blood come along rather than playing it safe. I prefer Doctor Who to try new things than play it safe, but I appreciate that's not what gets it renewed.
I
The
don't
thing is,
feel
I-
like they played it safe.
Well, perhaps not, but at the time I didn't
Yeah.
know they were going to
Yeah.
do that.
That's fair.
That's true.
Right, I've got ads in about 30 seconds, so we're going to take a short break, folks. And then we'll come back and there'll be fan theories. Mythical, don't let me forget about your question. I will cover it when we return. Mythical did ask about the fact that she thought they couldn't go back to the same time as they have done before. I do have an answer for that statement, but I just thought I'd mention it to you guys as well, so you can ponder how you might respond to it. Right, I'll see you folks all in a bit. Welcome back, everyone. I hope we all had a good break. Did any of you guys actually step away from your screens?
No.
I
No.
forgot to.
What sort of
I
examples are
meant
you
to,
setting?
and then decided not to bother.
What examples are you setting for the children?
What's the children got to do with this?
I have no idea. There are no
I
children.
mean, the
in
only
the show.
children around here are all of us mentally.
This is
We're
very,
in a video
very-
game talking about Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Checks out.
yeah.
Wearing Doctor Who hats, heads, whatever.
And I have lava.
And the fact that you're bouncing when you announce that says a lot.
Mhm.
I have the 11th Doctor's head.
Where's the rest of him?
Correct answer.
Lovely.
Right. So I think first, before we forget, we'll tackle Mythical's observation about like not being able to travel to the same time. They very much generalize it in the show from what I've seen. They say we can't travel to. What they mean is we can't cross our own timeline.
Mhm.
They can't,
Actually, I think it's even more specific than that. There are certain times in the universe that they can't return to. They can cross their own timeline. Just look at how many times you've had multiple Doctors in a single episode.
Mm.
So it's specific events that anchor time.
They do normally say that's a special event. There's just been
Yeah.
it's been on TV for so long. There's been a lot of special events.
Exactly.
Generally, they're fixed points in time where things have to go a certain way, like the eruption of Vesuvius. And those, it's
And
almost
even
like
then
they're
they messed with it.
weaker points in time as a result of being fixed. So having multiple versions of themselves there. I mean, they did a whole episode about it in the form of Father's Day. Season 1.
Oh god, I remember that one. Yes.
Episode.
I don't think I do.
7 or 8.
It was fairly early in Rose era.
Yeah.
I could do with a rewatch of going that far back.
It was just before. It was just before Captain Jack showed up, so it was before the World War II two-parter. But they do it like the Doctor and Rose go back in time to see Rose's father's death because she wants to basically just be with him at the moment of his death because he was alone. They go back. Rose, like basically her nerve fails her at the last second, so she runs off. So the Doctor brings her back again, and this time she saves her father's life. But her past self and the Doctor's past self see her doing it. They basically see themselves, and that causes what was already a weak point in time due to all the time travel to fracture and let the monsters of the week through. And then later on, Rose actually physically touches her younger self, which causes even further damage. But there's nothing wrong with them being in the same year in different locations, or even being in the same year in the same city. Just as long as they keep interaction with each other to a minimal level. When the Doctor interacts with themselves, there is genuinely extenuating circumstances. The Five Doctors episode that occurs on Gallifrey, so we tend to assume. We can assume that that's a more stable location for time travel shenanigans.
Also,
Although
the
Gallifrey being stable, really.
They also have it where the newest iteration of the Doctor can remember the events as well.
Yeah.
The past versions lose all memory of anything occurring the moment they leave that time frame.
They even explain why the older Doctors look visibly older when. So in the
Yeah, I like that actually. When
in
they
the
did that.
episode with Ace and Tegan's return, I'm blanking on the name. But it's one of Jodie Whittaker's episodes. The Power of the Doctor. Or
The
something?
Power of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That episode has a slightly different explanation because they're just holographic images. But in the Time Crash Children in Need special, which is a special, it's explained that the younger Doctor basically takes on the time difference between the two Doctors' ages. They take on the extra years, which was done to explain why Peter Davison looks so much older than when he was the Fifth Doctor. Hello, Screwy.
It was such
Because he
such a
is so
clever
much
way of
older than when
doing
he
it.
was the Fifth Doctor.
Well, yes.
But he's not as old as Elkhorn, so at least there's that.
Did you just log on to make that joke and then log off again?
No, I logged on because I finally got home from work and I was no
did-
longer listening in my car.
Yeah, I did invite Screwy with the.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Does
I just
it
thought-
worry you, Cosmic?
No.
Oh dear.
Well,
Fine.
I'm clearly not going to come to the Pride Lands now.
Yeah, we've got
I
Davros and a
currently
Dalek
winging-
and a Cyberman.
It just made me laugh that I thought Screwy just logged on to say Elcon's old.
I mean,
And then peace
that-
out.
that does track. I
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
done that.
That is
For the-
very on
for the
brand.
record. To type that message that I had because I said I was driving looking. I came to a screeching halt, pulled over, put on my hazards, and then picked up my phone to type the joke, and then had to continue on my way home. That was like halfway home.
Please tell me that
I am
that's
committed.
a joke.
No, it's absolutely true. I stopped my drive home to make a joke about Elkhorn being.
Please tell me you
I am
weren't.
only upset.
I would
That Elkhorn was
seriously have loved to have. That's one of those moments where, how would you explain that to a cop if they had decided to ask you what the heck you were doing?
Yeah, that's fair. That is
Well,
fair. It would be a hard thing to just to explain.
Oh, jeez. I shouldn't be surprised. Why am I surprised by this? Where did
I don't
Screwy's
know.
just suddenly here?
Yeah, I told you I was flying my
Suddenly,
way here so I
Screwy.
could join the discussion.
So Screwy, seeing as
No,
you're
Screwy.
here, and we have already talked about it, but Space Babies.
I love the headhunter,
out
by the
of
way.
5.
As an episode, interesting. 3.5, maybe 4. It felt kind of like a unless I missed it. I was thinking about this on the drive home. Unless I missed the reasoning for it, I don't think they explained why they remained babies, and it just seemed like a silly way to keep saying the phrase "space babies," which is kind of funny, but I don't think it was as funny
That's-
to justify repeatedly saying "space babies" that many times. But
That's
as
the
an
point. They were
episode
6-year-old
itself-
space babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why did they, like I said, unless I missed it, and I don't think I have because of the way you were responding, they didn't explain why they remained young. It was great that they stay the young, and the doctor explains that you are you, and you are perfect, and you are who you are, and that's great, and that's fine, that's wonderful, but, like, why? They should, was it a freak thing in their little embryonic chambers that they were born in because it was a factory sort of thing? Was it
Yeah.
a mistake there? There wasn't it just seemed like they stayed babies to make a joke that wasn't funny 15 times. It was maybe funny 3 times.
Mm.
They'd have probably been better off with a couple of Space Babies, and then the rest being like young children.
Oh, right. I forget the name. I don't recall, but perhaps Alastair. This is kind of really up your bailiwick. The original Star Trek original series had an episode where everyone stayed, where all the people on the planet stayed young, where they called all the grown-ups grups.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pax.
I was
But
thinking
they
there
had
was-
an explanation, right?
There was a fun episode where we're going around in circles on that one, where
the head off.
Picard ended up young and ended up
Yes.
leading a set of teenagers to
Rascals.
rescue everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
I remember that episode. That was a very
Yeah.
good episode.
Hello,
Screwy.
Storm.
And
That one
and,
worked.
Hello,
and,
Storm.
and Riker was his space
Yes.
Can you
dad.
hear me?
Yeah.
Oh god, that one was hilarious.
What's the head on?
Hmm?
You're not properly dressed.
I don't
What's your
have
head
a,
on?
you have to give me a head.
You
Oh,
have it in your inventory.
I
I've been
do,
trying
apparently
to tell
I
you
do.
to put it on.
There we go.
You don't. Can I make a request though?
Yeah.
I liked
Nope.
11 a lot, but I really liked Capaldi. Do you happen to have him?
Capaldi is busy.
I see it,
Sorry.
Scotsman.
Well, it's busy on Scotsman's.
It's
I just
kind
spotted
of
him.
it's kind of appropriate for me.
I get it.
You're
I get
both
it.
similar ages.
But I really
so...
liked him.
Scotsman hasn't been able to wipe their browser
there
history
you
yet.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to clear the history on these glasses. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like right after I said that, I noticed that that's who we were wearing, Scotsman. I'm like, oh. So I was curious, Scotsman, if I may ask a question to the general group. I don't want to know what it is you know, but apparently you know something. How is it you know it? Like, am I missing something?
I was archiving some stuff over the weekend and was looking at, and that actually pulled in metadata about cast and crew.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Cast lists tend to include all the places that, and I've just explained more than I should have done.
I wasn't paying
But
attention. I was busy replying to
That's
Andy's
fine.
message.
You can extrapolate from there if you wish to create your own spoilers.
Yeah. No. So okay. Yeah. It's like, do you work for the BBC? Are you a writer? Are you related to an actor somewhere?
No.
You know, that sort of thing. So okay, just you were okay. You were doing your own thing.
I spend time on the internet and have occasionally been told that I have Google running through the single brain cell.
Right. So, have you seen the second episode, Screwy? The
I
Devil's
have.
Called? Out of
For the
5?
most part, I'd give that a 4.9 out of 5.
Okay. Similar
The
to
only thing I
like that.
didn't like, and it was only the presentation of it, was the magical musical stabs. That's when I messaged you about the cartoonish bit. I loved everything else. I love the fact that it's this. Now you've had the toy maker and the maestro. You had, of course, the toy maker way back in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
Now you've got the maestro. There's the message, he who waits in the dark, or the one who waits, who may or may not be one person. You've got Elkhorn in there now as the oldest one. You have this whole pantheon. As many people have said, Davies is good with these long stories, and that's great to get away from Monster of the Week, which has its own problems, because then you have this monster creep where everything has to become a bigger issue. One of the great things that Davies did was those longer running stories, and now you've got this long running pantheon, perhaps, of these powerful beings that the Doctor really has to contend with. And that's great. It's wonderful. And I love the spirit of it. I love the fun. I like that the Doctor has clearly, as the referenced in the holiday specials, had some form of therapy and it has dealt with the PTSD that was such a portion of those earlier Doctors, the Tennants and the Tennant and Capaldi and Smith.
Except he's still clearly got some.
He's clearly got some, but
that's not a linear process.
I think when your entire race is extinct at your own hand in your mind.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Then you're going to carry some trauma from that.
Yeah,
but
no
they
matter
deserve
how much therapy you go through.
But they've worked. They've seen things. They're able to have much more fun than they used to have, and I think that's great and that's wonderful to do. But that musically type stuff, that, like I said, the magic musical staff was just too cartoonish. If it had just been like an energy beam of something, and just flashing light, fine, sure, whatever. They do that all kinds of things, all kinds of times. But that struck me as just kind of Disney cartoon and was out of sorts with. Like, we just haven't seen things like that. I
don't think it felt too out of sorts to me. It pulled me out a little bit with some of them were badly rendered, which is what the issue I had with them. But, I do think the fact that they've got more money coming in means we are going to see more of that sort of stuff. They have the budget for more of those sort of things. So, yes, it's still fairly new now. I think if we look in a season's time back at it, it's going to be par for the course. And, maybe if it really does take you out of it, that's unfortunate. But I think we will be seeing more of that.
It didn't take me out of it. Reverse that. It didn't take me out of it as badly as the babies.
Yeah, the baby faces were what really pulled me.
Yeah.
You were talking about the musical number at the end. I actually really enjoyed it because there were a lot of dance, especially the obvious one was the singing in the rain at the end, but there was actually references to a bunch of musicals.
Why am I not surprised that you, of all people, A, picked up on the references, and B, just you clear? I think of all of us, it was you're the one who liked it the most.
Well, because I worked in theater, which includes musicals, for over 20 years. Would it be that, perhaps?
just possibly.
Just perhaps. Now, answer this, you might know better. The actors, the Shooty and Millie, is her name, right?
Well, sorry.
Do they
say that again?
Because the actors, Shooty, and it's Millie, right?
Yes.
Who plays Ruby? Do they have? I don't know them, right? They are not U.S. figures until now. do they have musical theater background? Like, do they do a lot of music stuff? Because this is now
I'm not.
2 out of 3 things, really, right? Because the original Christmas with the goblins and the singing, and now this one have a lot of music in them.
So Shooty, I know, was in Sex Education on Netflix.
I think Shooty's also done some Broadway stuff as well, though.
Shooty, Shooty, I think, was at one point played MC in Cabaret.
Oh, okay.
I think.
It's
Don't
an
quote
interesting
me on
choice for
that.
Cabaret.
I'm not certain. And Millie, what was Millie's? I think Millie's primary acting credit was EastEnders, Emmerdale, or Coronation Street. One of them.
Coronation Street.
Thank you. I didn't know which one because those kinds of shows are not my jam.
No, I'm not
So
mine
that's
either. I just happen to know it.
Yeah, because wasn't oh god, I'm blanking on her name. Girl who played Clara, wasn't she from one of the British soaps as well?
She was from Emmerdale.
Jenna Louise
yeah.
Coleman.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know. What is really jarring for me is Millie Gibson, born in 2004.
I
Oh,
know.
yes.
Nope. I
Let's
don't
not
like
discuss that, shall we?
Dear
Didn't
goodness.
Not
Didn't
it.
the
Hey,
previous
not age
reboot-
talk in chat.
Yeah.
Didn't the
Unless it's
previous
making fun of
reboot
Elkhorn.
only come out in 2006? Or was it
2005.
2008?
2005, yeah.
Okay. So she'd at least been born when the prior one started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for the next
Sort of.
companion.
Oh no. I don't like this.
No one likes this. No
Well,
one.
it could be worse.
Exterminate!
Addy is saying that Millie has done stage work apparently.
Okay.
For anyone wanting to
Okay.
look them up, Shooty Gatwa and Millie Gibson. Shooty is NCUTI, GATWA.
Oh, and I just saw a little clip or something. He's been pronouncing his own name wrong his entire life.
What?
There was like I literally ran across
I
this
feel
morning.
that's one of those statements that doesn't make sense. You pronounce your own name the way that you pronounce your own name.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Whether or not it's
there's-
wrong is somebody else's way of controlling how you should be, and I don't like that.
There's like a clip of him and Millie in costume, which is funny. So I'm wondering if this is like a joke of some kind, where he was giving interviews, teaching people how to pronounce his name because it's
It's an unusual
Difficult.
name in the UK.
yeah. But I guess his mom got in touch with him. Was like, that's not the way that's traditionally pronounced. Like, okay, so I don't know if this
At
is a
which
joke or
point,
if this is actually
it could
real.
easily be regional, or who knows?
yeah.
To be honest, who cares?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, incidentally,
yeah, I've
Shooty's
run
got a
across a
lot
couple
more.
different pronunciations of my kids' names, so.
I have
Shooty's
heard
got a lot
about
more stage
4,000
credit than
pronunciations
television.
of my own name.
What was that? Sorry, Scotsman. What did you say?
Yeah, too many.
My comment was I've heard 4,000 different pronunciations of my own name.
How many different ways
Canadians don't
can you pronounce
understand my
Scotsman?
I was wondering how many different ways you can pronounce Bob.
I'm
Wow.
not going to answer that because it's going to turn very inappropriate very quickly.
What
One of
about
the problems
Richard?
that I have.
Oh, that's the one that's going to go inappropriate.
I'm not even going in that direction.
That's not a pronunciation. That's a nickname.
Yeah. Anyway, because we're getting into real names now, so we're going to
Yes, yeah, we're going to weave off.
very dangerous territory. So
Wave off.
the general consensus is the first episode was a bit
Meh.
but this is also coming from a lot of people who then immediately watched the second episode, where the general consensus is absolutely fantastic.
I did not immediately watch it. I watched it the next day.
Most of us, I said.
Told you.
Yeah. I still think the first one did what it set out to do.
Yeah.
In terms of establishing a lot of stuff, setting a bit more of the Russell T Davies tone.
Yeah.
And also showing something that kids would find amusing, like the Bogeyman. I think there was a
Yeah.
lot there to make it more family friendly. Whereas I feel that Jodie Whittaker's was a little bit too dry and serious for kids.
Yeah. Screwy, your mic, are you aware that it seems to be picking you up more than it perhaps normally
Yeah,
would?
you're
Yeah, I was trying to. I'll have to fix that more.
I just wanted
Sorry.
to make you aware of that. um,
Just
As
so
you hear me
can
set the
cosmetic.
timer for my tea in the
yes,
background,
mythical
perhaps.
there was. That's become a write-off.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Good for
Cosmic.
yourself.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It was just an idea that if you wanted to do something while we spoke, but
I didn't expect as many
honest.
people to show up, and it's not really something I can easily, because there's so many people talking. I'm trying to look at the people who are talking, just so people know that that's like the voice we're focusing on. So
we should all
You've
just
been
stand
doing
in
well
single
with
file.
it, and it works.
Go plant some
I mean, I can't look at Storm because she's not here.
Should we just stand around Hunter in a circle?
Oh god, I should have kept my mouth shut. Cosmic has to stand over there. Cosmic has to stand over there, so my voice doesn't pick up.
We really should not stand around Hunter in a circle at all. Please.
Why not?
There's
I
just
know
many
why.
reasons, Storm, but
But why not?
I was about to say, the reason why nobody's over with the sniffers is because I am Farticus, the sniffer. But that's how they powered a ship, so...
this is true.
Oh yeah, I wasn't very fond about that either. It's like, really?
The thing is, Rusty Davies is hardly his first opener that was goofy, because Rose had goofy moments. I mean, it had a burping wheelie bin.
Yeah.
The CGI for that was dreadful. Auton Mickey wasn't exactly great, and he melted. New Earth.
To be fair, it was 2005.
It was 2005. New Earth, which was the first proper episode that wasn't a Christmas special, with David Tennant as the Doctor. That was similarly, it was goofy in different ways. I mean, you had David Tennant pretending to be possessed by a bitchy trampoline, to use the in-show description. That is how she was
That's an
described
interesting way to put it.
in the show. That is how
I
she
have
is
not
described.
heard Cassandra referred to as that before.
Rose
I have not either.
in Cassandra's first episode, Rose calls her a bitchy trampoline.
I mean, the best part is that you don't even have to know who that is. Like, if you've watched those episodes, you don't even have to know that that's an in-show joke to know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty clear.
So that's fairly goofy, and then I mean the next episode is Rose and the Doctor trying. They have a bet on to try and make Queen Victoria say, "I am not amused," whilst they're being hunted by a werewolf. Then season 3's opener, Smith and Jones, features a vampire that uses a straw.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And
A
remember
little
that
bendy
And,
straw.
and an entire race of aliens created so the writers could make David Tennant say a platoon of Jadoon upon the moon. Because he couldn't say
To be
oon
fair-
without reverting to a Scottish accent.
And then there's the adipose.
Yeah, the adipose need an explanation.
To be
Yes,
fair,
they do.
Like,
the adipose.
like
So-
They really need to be explained.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was quite a nice juxtaposition and sort of similarity was that when you've got Ruby and the Doctor stood by the window, like the doors open, you can see like the planet below. That was very much like the end of the world. With
Oh
the
yeah,
Doctor and
that
Rose.
was a really nice parallel. I really like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Even with the phone call to
Oh,
her
yeah.
mum.
Yeah.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. That was, yeah.
The interesting thing, so fun fact for those that might not know this, the phone call in The End of the World, the TARDIS connects that call before Rose has even met the Doctor. The version of Jackie she speaks to is from a time before Rose first meets the Doctor in Henrik's. Because Jackie asks Rose to put money in the store lottery thing, which is the money that Rose is taking down to the basement in the opener of the show.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
I'd ever
I
picked
wouldn't
up
mind a
on that.
phone like that.
So basically, by calling
Right.
early, then Rose never really got the instruction to do that.
Yeah, effectively.
Because Rose got it later, and
Yeah.
rather than the Rose of that time period.
Yeah, pretty much. She might. I mean, we could always say that Jackie mentioned it again. Just like, did you do that thing? And then Rose would be like, but you never asked me to do the thing. And then knowing Jackie and Rose, that would probably just lead to a bit of an argument. But also they cared about each other quite a lot, so they would probably get over it. The season 5 opener. I mean, the season 5 opener features the Doctor stripping in front of Amy and Rory. Rory turns around, then leans over to Amy. Are you going to turn your back? Nope.
That's not that.
No, why would I do that?
Season 6's opener is the first one that doesn't really have many goofy moments, and that's because it opens with the Doctor getting shot by an astronaut.
Alastair.
To be fair, by the time they got to that point, they'd also started correctly, more
Alistair, put
accurately
your
hitting the
claws
blend
on.
between goofy and
Yeah.
like there was enough serious bits because the was it season 6, the opener that starts with like Amy and Rory also has, you know, the Doctor basically terrifying off an entire race of aliens saying like, get gone now or you will regret it significantly.
Yes, but he then calls them back to do that.
Yes, and he calls them back and then they still get gone, so that like the point being
Yeah.
like
I think
they were more. It's always been a bit of a, especially with the. I can't really speak to like the original because I haven't seen much of those, but
I think the first time
the-
they truly demonstrate just how dangerous, powerful, and notorious the Doctor has become is Forest of the Dead, which is the second of the Library two-parter.
Oh god.
Which still
That
to this
gave me
day I
nightmares.
struggle to watch that episode because I find it so creepy. But
That gave I watched that well into high school, and that gave me honest to god actual nightmares. That was the first thing that gave me nightmares in 6 years.
But the one thing that gives me like good chills in that episode is when the Vashnarada start to go towards the Doctor, and the Doctor's just like, "Don't play games. I'm the Doctor. This is the biggest library in the universe. Look me up." Just those 3 words, "look me up," said with such cold menace. They pause as they Google him basically, and then they just back away like, "Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!"
Like,
We'll
nope.
give you 24 hours.
I think
Bye.
the one where we really see, I think we actually see it instead of just having it implied, and I do not remember the name of this one, but it's the one where he has Martha, and he hides his memories.
Oh yeah, the Family of Blood.
And it's like,
yep.
Yeah, the Family of Blood.
The family.
And the Doctor's like, all I want to do is live in peace. Let me live in peace. And they say no. And then he actually does
The closing bit of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Where he gets his, that's
Yeah,
like,
where-
oh man.
He allows them to live forever, just not quite
Oh,
as
yeah.
they expected.
The only other episode I can think of which has the same kind of vibe as you were saying, where he's getting Googled, is the 11th Hour with the Atraxi.
Yeah.
And he gets them to basically look
Yes.
him up. He's like, basically, run.
That's the one I was.
Yeah, that's
that
the
was the
original.
opener.
Mythical is just mentioning about how we've got the perfect place to do this, and we're stood in a field.
That's true.
The only problem
And we're
with
not
doing
even
it,
very far.
The only problem with doing
It's
it
right
in the
over
TARDIS,
there.
Yes, it is screwy, but the only problem with doing it in the TARDIS is the time rotor is in the middle of the control room, so it's in the way if we stand in a circle around the console. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we exclude Storm because she's not physically present in the Pride Lands, we actually have enough people to fly TARDIS.
Oh yeah. All right, where are we going?
I
Not
reckon we
making
should
it
tow
move.
Earth somewhere. Because that's the one time we've seen the TARDIS flown correctly, was when they were towing the Earth.
Yep.
Right, so I originally planned for this half of the stream to be like theorizing, but we've just kind of gone off back on a bit more of just a Doctor Who tangent. Not that I'm complaining.
Okay. Fan theories then. Who is, and she wasn't really in these episodes, but who is Mrs. Flood?
That's going to be an interesting one.
I'd like her to be the Rani.
Yes.
That would be cool.
I would like that, because the thing is, for the Rani, I know who the Rani is. I'm familiar with the character existing, but I've not seen the Rani episodes. There's some of the episodes I haven't seen.
Oh, some of those are absolutely amazing. Particularly, there's a lovely one where she replaces the Doctor's
Mel.
companion at the time.
And the companion is Mel. I know
Yeah.
enough about the Rani to know that the companion she replaces is Mel Bush, and I still don't know. And it's her attack that causes 6 to regenerate into 7.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the episodes. I believe it's the Twin Dilemma. Is the episode in question?
Is it?
Do you mind not destroying our hill?
Alistair was attacking me. I'll put it back.
It's Alastair. Get used to it.
I know, that's why I was running around
so
without
you
the,
broke the hill.
Mythical
Get back.
reckons the Doctor's mother.
I'm getting blamed for everything being destroyed or killed here. When
You were chasing after me with a lava bucket.
You were trying to bury
Again.
me.
Not surprised. No, I did it by accident.
You weren't where you were supposed to be when I was trying to kill you.
Don't worry, Alastair. I'm about to become Cosmic's new least favorite person.
Oh.
I think she's making something out of birch and
Yeah, I got that
scaffolding.
See,
Yeah.
I put your hill back.
Thank you.
Put your hill
I mean-
back. I was going to.
I mean, in fairness,
Anyhow.
Cosmic killed one of my cats earlier.
Oh, needed some string, Cosmic.
No, it's because Alastair wasn't where he was supposed to be when I was trying to kill him.
Oh, I see.
Actually,
All right,
that's a
so-
good point. Sorry, Hunter.
she took
I
it out
picked
on the
this up
cat.
before.
I was just looking it up. It's Time in the Rani I'm thinking of.
Is that the one? Okay.
Oh, is that the first episode? Is that the regeneration episode?
That's the storyline, yeah.
What's the Twin Dilemma then that I'm thinking of then?
Well, look,
That
Ronnie
I'm
Call
not
it
sure. I'm just
Vegas
trying to look
episode.
that one up.
wasn't Ronnie before 6? I remember Ronnie as a kid with a.
No, it
Tom
was
Baker at
the
4.
Twin
That
Dilemma.
would have
was
been the
Colin
mark of the
Baker's
Rani.
first episode. That's why I was
yeah.
confused. I knew
Yeah,
it was
the
the
other
first
It was
episode
in
for
Mark of
something.
Rani, Time of Rani, and Dimensions in Time.
Okay.
Oh, she's
so
the
if that's
Dimensions
our-
in Time special.
If that's our theory about Mrs. Flood, what are our theories about Ruby?
Well,
Either
I would
Susan,
imagine.
either regeneration of Susan or Susan's daughter.
Another possibility,
I-
regeneration of the Doctor's daughter.
Yep.
Mm.
So I have a couple of things. So firstly, Mythical has suggested that Mrs. Flood could be the Doctor's mother. There is a reason why I don't think that's the case. Now, Mythical, who I don't believe has watched Doctor Who, won't know this. But in the End of Time Part 2, which was David Tennant's final episode, there's a scene where Razalon, who is at the time the leader of the Time Lords, shows up on Earth with a lot of Time Lords. And there's 2 who are sat at the back with their eyes covered. And a woman uncovers her eyes, looks at the Doctor, and then covers them again. And it's a really emotional scene. Oh, that follow sound was glitched. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce that name. I've heard it said out loud, and I don't know how to say it. Pixely? I think it's Pixely. Please correct me if that's wrong. Yeah, and the Russell T Davies said that he wanted that to be the Doctor's mother, but he couldn't work it into the script. He couldn't find a way to get it into the script. So she goes credited as unnamed woman or mysterious woman. And then Jenny, the situation with Jenny was created by Stephen Moffat, I believe. Stephen Moffat then went on the record to say that Jenny died by crashing her rocket into the moon orbiting Messalina, the planet that she was created on, which I personally think is a really cheap cop out of an excuse for not so you don't have to write the character again.
I kind of like the idea that she was just flying around, and we just got another Time Lord out there that is now estranged, and
she's
that's
in
a lot more
she's in
interesting.
like the graphic novel. She's in the extended media, so there's a graphic novel / comic series where she meets 12 when he's at what's the university he's at with the Vault and Nardole, where he meets Bill.
No, I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know if I ever paid attention to the name of it.
Can't remember the name.
But
I don't
at
think I
that, when
ever
he's
learnt
working
it.
at that university, working is a loose term.
Mhm.
That's when Jenny returns because of things. I'm blanking on what the things are.
What if
So
we started to get a pantheon of wandering Time Lords to fight the pantheon that's trying to
Pantheon
enter
of
from outside?
Chaos.
St. Luke's
That
University.
could be fun.
St. Luke's University, thank you.
I had
Yeah,
to look that up.
my brain was going Oxford, and I'm like, it's not Oxford University. St. Luke's University, okay.
Yeah, you think they'd actually name check Oxford?
Who else? The thing is, the appearance of the woman dropping Ruby off at the church, it looks a lot like Jodie Whittaker's.
Hey.
It also
costume.
keeps changing.
It does change.
Yeah.
That.
So
There's a flash of it in maybe the musical one. I forget if it was
There
in
is.
Music Curve.
yeah,
Because
babies.
he actually comments that scene has changed.
yeah.
Beg your pardon.
He also refuses to take Ruby there, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be a big deal.
Hmm.
I thought I
definitely
saw a
like-
flash in one of the 2 episodes where the person on the wall reminded me of the, I don't know what death character I get from Hellbent Heaven Sent. It had that kind of
Oh, the veil.
long. Yes, thank you. There was a flash where it really looked like that,
Yeah.
which I'm like, what the? No, that's the wrong. But that would be like
That's unlike.
that wouldn't be dropping off babies.
Well, the
But
the thing is, the veil was contained within the confession dial.
Right within the dial. So, but it was a flash where I paused. I was like, did I just see that? So, I don't know.
Why?
I'm hesitant to theorize too much about these, and I do this a lot with like the MCUs and all this, the TV shows. I almost don't want to, because I want to be surprised. I have
Yeah.
enough trust in this team of writers who have written some really good long-term story arcs
better.
over the last number of years, where I kind of want to, like, it's fun to speculate, it's fun to think about it, but I'm not going to go deep into it because I want to be surprised. I spent too much time working in theater, being part of the surprise and making those reveals happen, that I really actually enjoy receiving that,
Yeah.
and appreciating the amount of work it takes to pull that off.
Yeah. No. I can understand that. That's fair enough.
I love the discussion, and I love the fact that they're that good that we've now just dropped 3 or 4 different ideas, and all of them are equally plausible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They really could be any one of them.
I think this is something
Except
that
for
Russell T
Scotsman.
Davies does really well.
Yeah.
With the story arcs, that he's got it all planned out. I mean, they're on
Mhm.
the next season and the next season so far, but I trust in his writing. That clearly he's going to follow something. He's such an intelligent man. When you listen to him talk, he's so passionate about it as well, that I trust it in his hands. And the fact that there's all this speculation and talking about it is, I think it's a good thing.
I remember when it was announced that Millie Gibson was stepping back from not being quite so involved in the show, was going to be more of a recurring companion like Mickey was, rather than a full-time in the TARDIS companion. And I remember hearing people shocked and appalled about it, and I'm just like, for Russell T Davies, that's normal. I know that traditionally companions stick around for a while, but how much of that is because a single story was 4 or 5 episodes long?
Yeah, I mean,
Have I misunderstood that? Sorry, have I misunderstood that? Because I didn't think that was the case. That people had got it wrong, so she's not taking a step back in the next series 2, if you want. It will be a 3-person TARDIS team.
From what I read, and bear in mind that this is just reading speculation and stuff, it sounded like she was going to be in the first half of the series as a member of Team TARDIS, and the second half she would make a couple of appearances like Mickey or Jackie. She would appear but would not be in every episode, like the Doctor and companion.
Could almost be a reverse Martha.
Yeah.
I was thinking good old
the next companion is
Wilf.
going to be her grandmother, who just wants a good cup of tea.
Traveling the
I like
universe to
that.
find a good cuppa. How British.
Doctor and Cherry.
That woman who is playing the grandmother is just hilarious.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
really
she's fun.
brilliant.
She's a lot of fun.
What do you think about all the damage that he keeps doing to
That
their
flat
family
is
home?
getting wrecked.
Yeah, the TARDIS is taller than the flat, so he just keeps smashing a hole in the roof.
Can you park somewhere else? It's built to go on street corners, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and I mean, he's parked on the street corner opposite their house before.
And we know that as the TARDIS gets older, it does increase in size as well.
That's true. They have mentioned that.
They have, yes.
I mean, I do like the fact that the Doctor is not shy about introducing himself to the families of his companions. I also liked the reference of "tell her not to slap me,"
Yeah, I had laughed at that.
because he got slapped by Jackie, he got slapped by Francine. I think Sylvia slapped him as well? Always the
Yeah.
mothers.
He's pretty slappable.
Yeah, he is. The problem is, he's not very good at the whole feelings thing.
He is.
Yeah, and
he's just good. He's just got a very different perspective. You get a different perspective
Yeah.
on feelings when you've been like.
Chaotic and
Traveling.
rogue, he's not exactly who you expect your kids to be hanging out with if
Yeah.
you know that sort of parent.
I think
I mean,
if my
you
sister was
tend
hanging
not to
around
tell your
with him,
kids to
then-
hang around with several thousand-year-old people.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
the standard age gap to creepiness.
Come on, here
rule.
it comes.
It is a
Exactly.
common trope, though, with time travel stuff.
This
'cause
is
mean,
why
you've
I
got
should
Marty
probably wander off.
McFly hanging out with
Mhm.
Doc Brown.
Mm. But it's like,
I better leave due to the age to creepiness rule.
well, it's like well, that means Elkhorn can never log back in.
That's true. Elkhorn is permanently banned.
But it's like
Yeah, what?
the Doctor goes like 900 years of
Poor
time and
Elkhorn.
space, and I've never been slapped by someone's mother. And Rose's response is, "You're 900 years old. That is one hell of an. My mum's right. That's one hell of an age gap." She makes reference to the fact that clearly she was interested, but even if he was the age he looked, she was in her early 20s. She was, I think, 19, 20. Like Rose, not Billy Piper. The Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston, I'm fairly certain was in his late 30s, early 40s. So that is a bit of an age gap.
Let's see. How old was he at that time?
I don't actually know how old I think Christopher Eccleston was born in 69. So he must have been in his mid 30s then. Sorry.
Sheet.
Christopher Eccleston, born. He is currently 60, born 1964.
He was born in 64.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
60 years of
no,
age.
I remember now. He was going to be 99 in the 100th anniversary because he'd made a comment about how he'd possibly return for the 100th anniversary. Then people have pointed out he would be 99 if he lived that long.
Yeah, he was 41 years old when he did the pilot episode, and Billy Piper was 22.
Okay, so I mean it's not massive, but
But also almost double her age.
yeah, double her age. But also she was playing a 19-year-old,
Yeah.
a fairly naive 19-year-old by the sounds of it.
Mm.
Well, yes. I mean, anyone who is like, oh, here's this incredibly bizarre person who's chasing after me with melting plastic people. Let's go on an adventure.
Let me run away from my
Some people are bored.
long-term boyfriend with him.
Yeah.
Who also Mickey was never even supposed to really return. It was only supposed to be for that episode, but then they ended up just bringing him back. And thankfully, they did develop him, because if they just kept him like the wet towel that he was
Yeah.
in that first episode, it would have been naff.
Well, the thing is,
Well,
the
did they do the same thing with? What about with Rory? Because he kind
Rory.
of had the similar
He did.
arc in the beginning. He was like the hang on, and then actually became a. I really enjoy Rory as a character once he starts
Rory,
doing.
But
Rory
here's the
came
thing
out
here's the
into
thing
it.
about
He
Rory.
goes through a lot.
Here's the thing about Rory.
He suffers a lot.
He in the very first episode is already showing a decent amount of intelligence by spotting the coma patient wandering that Prisoner Zero is masquerading as. And then in his first trip in the TARDIS to Venice, he identifies the TARDIS being the interior as being in another dimension because he's done his homework, and he is willing to fight off a sword-wielding vampire heavy air quotes, with like a broom or something to protect Amy.
Yeah.
Like, he is not afraid to protect, like, Mickey's entire thing, like, Mickey's clinging to Rose, scared for his life, telling her to abandon the Doctor. Rory is fending off a fencing vampire with a broom to protect his fiancée. Like,
Gonna hit it with a stick, yeah.
yeah, they are not the same. Like, Rory is a bit a bit klutzy at times, and certainly the comedy relief of the three. But he is definitely like ahead of Mickey at the start when they first.
For Rory,
arrived.
all I have to say is, would you like me to repeat the question?
Oh yeah, no,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that scene.
I watched that over and over again.
So, Pixley, I should apologise. Apparently, chat is. I need to change my chat rules. I think I had. We had some problems with some a bot attack a while back, and I haven't changed my chat settings back, so people can talk when they first follow. They have to be following for 10 minutes. I need to change that.
If you read that whole message, they did actually correct your pronunciation as well.
Did they?
Pixel Eye.
Pixel Eye.
Pixel
Okay.
Eye. Sorry, Pixel Eye. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was a settings error in there.
Yeah, no, that's
Or
something I need to
I mean,
fix.
not necessarily an error, but if you wanted it to stay that
Oh, there we go.
Have you
I cannot
found
believe the
that
B
setting?
tree is still here.
Yeah.
You've enabled it.
It
The
should
interesting thing
be.
is that
It
says it's
just
own
says
now.
Cosmic
in it.
Dancer enabled followers only mode for this room.
Oh, hang on. There we go. There we go.
I think I know what it is. I think it's you have to be following for 10 minutes to be able to talk. Because my chat settings require a verified email address and phone number, or at least used to. I don't know if they still require the phone number, but I also added that follow age thing because of the hate raids that were going around.
Understandable.
You talking about those?
It was so Flores on your chat was turned off, but the setting for 10 minutes only was enabled.
Okay,
So
is that now
10
disabled?
Yeah, it's off.
Okay.
It's off now.
Okay, that's fine then. I was going to say... Oh, yeah, so I've seen...
By the way, this is absolutely turned into a retrospective podcast.
Yes,
by
it
the way.
has.
Can I
It
just-
has.
can I
Yeah,
just-
it really has.
I'm not complaining.
No, it's fine.
I have but one question. Will we be doing this after the next episode?
Yes.
Yes.
They,
Are they
Actually,
going to drop in pairs again, or is it going to be singles now?
I think
going
it's
forward?
singles.
That's a
from now
question.
on. I think it's
I
singles
think
from
it'll
now
be
on.
singles.
Yeah.
So I do...
It's fairly common for them to drop 2 episodes
Yeah.
on the start of a
I'm just going to take
big
my
thing.
head off just while I address chat. This is going to be the Monday stream for the next few weeks, just while Doctor Who is airing, because I love the show, if you hadn't been able to tell, and these folks all love the show, so getting to talk about it with these
And
lovely
apparently
people,
we're all crazy.
that's new.
Only slightly.
Slightly, right. What you were saying about the would you like me to repeat the question? I've seen a post oh, hello Storm, I didn't see you'd arrived. What I've seen
here a while.
floating around
Well, a little while.
on the internet is it's a screen grab from the Parting of the Ways, where the Doctor's just like coward any day and refuses to kill the Daleks, and someone says they don't make them like this anymore, and then another reply is cut to 11 blowing up a fleet of cyber ships. And my only thought when I see that, is if Rose was in Amy's position, 9 would have blown up those ships without hesitation.
Oh yeah, no, not even. Not even remotely
he wouldn't have
paused.
he wouldn't have
wouldn't
even
blink.
sent Rory in. He'd have video called them from the TARDIS and demanded to know. He wouldn't have even bothered sending Rory in. He would have just called them up and said, "Where is she?" and then blown up the ships. He would have been.
No, I think he would have
absolutely
blown
furious.
most of them up, left one of them and called them
Yeah.
afterwards.
Or
Yeah.
like blown up the first half and then
Yeah.
let the second half, like, you have one chance to not blow up.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
if there's one thing the Doctor's enemies learn very quickly, it is do not harm his friends. Because
Nope.
that is more dangerous than targeting him directly.
Well,
No,
again,
Jay Price, they have not.
in the
Your
in the
compassion
Pandorica
is
type
your
arc when he's on
downfall.
top of the stone at Stonehenge, yelling up at all
Oh,
17
that
different races and basically talks them away.
God,
It's all
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
J Price, no. We have not moved from this spot.
I mean, I arrived home from work. That's about
yeah.
it.
Screwy has arrived home from work, and Storm has come over and joined us.
Screwy pulled over to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Screwy pulled over on the drive home
You
to
can't
make an
pass
age
up.
jab at Elcor.
You cannot pass up. That is how you commit to the bit. And the only thing
I can't believe you're
hopefully
still
Elkhorn
defending
actually
it.
watches VODs. And I hope Elkhorn actually watches enough VOD to, one, A, see the joke original, and then see me come home and hear about how I stopped my car halfway home,
Screwy!
pull over and type. Because that car is
I
not
feel like if
smart enough
nothing
to
else,
do
we
text
should
to
have
type.
clipped that.
Yeah.
You are at the 2-hour mark, by the way.
Yes, I
2
am,
hours.
Thank you. So I think if we're considering this, because I know we've got the Infinity Cove cast, which is just the generic group of us just whittering on for a couple of hours when we're doing mindless work. What are we calling this Doctor Who retrospective / review segment? What name have we got for it? And yes, it does need to have some form of Doctor Who pun involved.
Well, you see, this is your thing, Hunter, so I feel like you should come up with a name.
You know, I think the Cat Murderer should come up with the name.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of a pun that involves the word TARDIS, and I'm not succeeding.
So there's a Doctor Who podcast that I know, retrospective podcast that I know exists, which is like the Come Along Pondcast or something like that.
Yep.
Which is which I think is really clever, but obviously that's taken.
Yes,
Whocraft.
clearly.
Addy says Whocraft.
Whocraft. Well, the thing
Adventures
is,
in Cove and Time.
Oh,
I
I
like
like
that.
I
that.
like
Yeah.
that. I like that. The only problem is Davros over here. Not technically a Cova.
I mean,
Davros? Oh, is that who that's supposed to
Why
be?
am I?
Oh, yeah, I guess with the blue eye.
He's absolutely a
Technically not a
problem.
Cova, but also on the whitelist.
That's fine.
If he's on the cover, it
I mean,
counts.
we're in the Cove.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we are.
we're literally on Infinity
Yeah.
Cove, therefore he must be.
So, same time tomorrow for the official first recording of the show. Thank you for that rousing applause of indifference.
I will be at work, so I would
No,
not be
no,
able to
that's-
attend.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fine.
planning on actually mountain bike riding tomorrow and not crashing this time.
that was.
Please don't
And you'll have to pull
Let's
over your bike to make an age joke, though, just to continue things.
Not streaming tomorrow. Don't worry.
Oh, don't be doing that, hands free.
But in all seriousness, will people be available at the same sort of time next Monday?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'll
Should
be
be.
late, coming home from work, but
Potentially.
But you can always
make
pull over
sure
to
I
make a
can
joke.
stop and make a joke about Elkhorn.
Ow.
That wasn't me.
Cannot promise anything. We'll be on as schedule allows.
Okay.
Addy plays suggesting Whocraft.
Yes. I think J Price. I'm not sure if J Price is referring to the soccer practice now or tomorrow. But no, it would not be
I think that was a
tomorrow, it
response
would
to
be-
the tomorrow joke.
Yeah, it
That
would
was a
be
response, yeah.
next. It would be next week. It would be next Monday. That I'd do it again. Because that will be after the next episode is released, which I will be watching after my stream on Friday. Because it's a Saturday the next day. Why wouldn't I?
You are going to be very sleep deprived for the next while.
I'm already.
That's what
sleep
caffeine is for.
deprived.
You could, tape it and then watch it first thing in the morning. Have a lovely
Sorry,
surprise
tape
to wake
it?
up to.
What do you mean
Yes.
tape it?
What's
Tape
this
it.
tape it thing?
What's tape it?
I think
All
we
of
just
you
found
know
the interloper
exactly
from
what-
time.
It's the thing Scotsman and Elkhorn and I used to actually have to do to watch something.
The
Well,
funny thing
we
is
weren't
I
able to be
never-
there at time.
I never actually did because I have never had a TV.
I'm
Wait,
old
what?
enough to tape as well, but Storm isn't. It
I,
was weird hearing it from Storm.
I should probably point out that I'm old enough to tape things. I'm old enough to have taped
Yes,
things.
you can, J Price. It's actually a very good time to start.
Look, if Hunter's old enough to tape things, I'm also old enough to tape things. I have to point out.
Oh, I would also point it out if Hunter said it.
Yeah, to clarify for Jay Price as well, it's they're starting it off as a new season 1, so that it's designed
Yeah.
to be accessible,
Yeah.
so you don't have to have watched all the previous iterations. And also, T. Davis does soft rebooting of the show best. He did it well
Yeah.
in
To be fair-
2005.
to be
and,
He's
fair-
the only one who's done it.
yeah, and they have a good track record.
Yeah,
'Cause they've done it
they've done
twice
it great twice so far.
Yeah.
1,000. They're batting 1,000, 2 for 2.
Well, I think that you can't really say it's a good reboot until we've had more than 2 episodes.
Let's give him
So
this
far.
I don't know.
season.
I'm pretty happy with it so far.
I'd say
Yeah.
give him
Yeah,
this
it's
season.
like-
and
I'd
then
still
we'll
say
see.
it's more than
Like,
2.
I'm not saying it's bad so far. I'm just saying it's a little too early to definitively say one way or another for batting 2 for 2.
What I will say is this, because we've only got about 2 minutes left, and I still need to do my outro. Because we'll come back to this after the season has ended. How are we feeling about the season? Are we confident? Are we looking forward to it? Do we think it's going to be a good season? Or are we a bit unsure and apprehensive?
Yeah, I think Davies has shown with his ability to write long term, to be able to write long arcs with his introduction of this pantheon that that Doctor's gonna have to deal with. That on the whole, there's enough set up, let alone the mysteries of who this person is, who he is, who that is, that sort of thing. They're setting up an interesting long scale thing. It's clearly moving from Monster of the Week. Now there's going to be Monster of the Week bottle type episodes, but I think in the long run, it's already been shown to set up that this is a long-term, season-long thing. It is right from the get-go. I have really strong faith that, on the whole, there's a big, important story arc that has already started that we're just seeing the tiniest hints of.
Yeah.
Oh,
There-
hi,
there was-
CJ.
Hi,
There's,
CJ.
Oh, hey, CJ!
Poor
CJ,
CJ.
that's unfortunately very poor timing because I'm about to wrap up. I'm so sorry, but I'm literally about to end the stream because it's just after 11 p.m. here, and unfortunately I do have work in the morning. So thank you everyone here for coming along. Alastair's buried in grass. I love the fact that you all came along to talk about Doctor Who, especially people as well in chat who didn't know what we were talking about, but still stuck around anyway and were like still joining in with the theorizing and things, even when you weren't 100% certain. Like you were, like Mythical's case, just stabbing in the dark with who the mysterious woman might be. Hold on, I need to take my head off.
And that's a line.
There's a lot you don't hear
It's
right
still it's still. I love the fact that you guys are coming along and participating. Now, the finite in Discord. That's where you can get stream notifications for when I go live. Or you could be like CJ and arrive when I finish up. CJ, are you not in the Discord? Do you not have notifications for when I go live? Tell me you at least have notifications for when Minipax and Elkhorn, my fellow innkeepers, go live.
To be fair, I also have notifications for all of you, and I still end up late half the time.
Storm! How could you? How could you?
I'm not actually going to answer that.
Some of us are just a bit.
So many answers.
I also have a VOD channel, Hunter555 on YouTube. That's where my VODs go. I'm not sure how this one's going to last, how well this one will last when it gets uploaded, because I did play the Doctor Who theme on stream without realising that was what was going to happen. So I may get copyright struck for it. So we will see.
That's yours.
We will see with that.
The memento.
Mythical, yeah, you've shown up on time for 55 streams in a row. So well
Yeah,
done.
Mythical's clearly MVP.
Yeah, Mythical is absolutely the MVP of my streams. And she is going to harp on about me saying that for months.
My watch streak has just been reset.
Oh, well, evidently
I'm
you
very
missed a
upset by
stream.
this. I didn't. It was at 35 at the beginning of stream.
I'm going to send you on a raid. I believe I'm going to send you on a raid over to Calendar Storm. Crystal Point Puzzle Work. I don't know what that is.
Crystal Point is the server that he plays on.
There we go. Crystal Point is the server that Calendar Storm is playing on. So I'm going to send you over to him. Raid message will be, as always, #HunterRaid, howling at the moon. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate you guys being here. It makes it a lot easier to talk about the show than just me trying to ramble on for 2 hours by myself. Because I've never done that before.
Nope.
Sorry,
I got a message that said, "Sorry for the short notice, but do you want to come and talk about Doctor Who?"
Well, my main concern was I don't know what your working hours are like. Cosmic! Let's not have a repeat of earlier.
No.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Yes, I don't know what your working hours are like, Alastair.
Yes,
I didn't
grab
know
his
if
head,
you would
that's
be
a
in the
rare
middle of your
commodity.
working day or anything like that. So,
Where is it?
what, his head?
I can only see the Davros head.
Cosmic's wearing it.
Oh, I'm wearing his head.
Oh.
Where are you?
How do I get to the...
Did you set your spawn over here?
I set my spawn, but now I've lost track as to where I go from here.
Where are you? Describe
Where
it.
are you?
I was at the
Gaga.
train.
Oh, you're in the train. Hold on, I'll come and get you.
I was smart enough to be
No, he's
somewhat
okay.
relatively nearby.
It's alright.
Oh, he's
No, they're back. They're
It's
back.
fine.
I lost him. Did Pax teleport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Think I have everything? Ow! No! Why am I on fire? No!
Just remember, Alastair, you can come play on Infinity Cove anytime you want.
The best part is he had a potion of fire resistance.
Anytime you want, Alastair. You're welcome here. Welcome here anytime.
I wanted.
I
his
was on
head.
fire before I realised even where it was in my inventory.
I wanted the head. Right, my ad's going to start in a minute. Thank you again, everyone, for coming along. It has been awesome. I will see you folks all hopefully on Wednesday. Good night.
All right. See you, Hunter.
Bye!
Bye!
Goodbye, listeners.